I'm doing this video to show my style of playing Shadowrun on the Sega Genesis because I think it's a bit different than most of what I've seen on YouTube. The standard sort of way of playing it is to have a decker and use that decker to make all your nuyen, and then go through and walk from building to building in the Redmond Barrens to get all the karma you need from all those little runs. So I'm doing this a little differently. I try to get money and karma at the same time and in a relatively quick way, and there are just a few tricks to get there. So the way I do this is using the Renraku runs that Caleb Brightmore gives you. And the reason this is a pretty good system is because you can go through and do this with the same approach each time, and with a really high degree of success. Now, Renraku is a little bit of pain in the ass to get into and do runs at, and that's why it's the higher tier corp runs, and it pays about 4,000 per run. The reason it's annoying is because the front entrance has some, a guard waiting immediately. So you have to have a badge, or you have to have fast talk success to get through. Or, what I found and started doing is you just have to have mage with invisibility. And invisibility will walk you past that. Now the second problem with it is there aren't any security terminals on the first floor. So with no security terminals on the first floor, that means that you have to go through and go to a different floor, or if you get in any fights, you're stuck fighting people for a while, and it's just a pain. But there are some quick ways around that I tend to use to get through here. So here, I just finished that last package run, and now I'm talking to Caleb, and I'm trying to get some work. So, and I get lucky here, and it's the first one I get. He wants me to go get the package from the Renraku offices. Good negotiation skill gets me up over 4,000 for some money. That's pretty decent. Now each one of these successful runs also nets me 6 karma, which is pretty good. So about 4,000 and 6 karma for what ends up being a really quick process. Ends up being a pretty good deal in terms of what you get for the time you put in the game. Now you'll make a lot more money if you just go in and deck, but I personally find sort of fighting and walking through stuff more entertaining. So invisibility gets me through the front, no problem. You notice, even though my other guys aren't invisible, the guards don't give a shit. They're just watching, a giant troll with spikes out of his hands come in, and they're like, well, the main guy's invisible. We don't care. Whatever. And then I just go up to the 4th floor. And I go up to the 4th floor because that's where security terminals are really close to the elevators. With high enough electronic skill, I immediately shut down the alarm system and the cameras, and it tells me, with a good success, that I should search the 5th floor, or whatever floor the item tends to be on. So already, just a few moments in, I've disabled most of the security in the corporation, and I know where to go to find the item. No big deal. You'll notice that I'm controlling Trent a lot. I first discovered this actually playing with Joshua as a shaman, and that works really well for solo runs. I did play as deckers initially to get money, but now that I've played it more, I prefer to just hire deckers when I need them, and the rest of the time play as either a samurai or a mage. What I tend to do, with this game is my core group is Joshua and Trent, and then I hire other runners as need be, or as I want to level them, because I get a ridiculous amount of karma doing this, and I can use that karma to pay off, or I can use that karma to level up other characters. I already have combat skills for Trent and Joshua pretty well maxed out from all the karma I've gotten, but not so for other characters. I'm leveling up Winston right now because it's sort of hilarious what you can get his attributes up to since he's a troll. You can get his body to 11 and his strength to 10 with, cybernetic augmentation makes him just a melee tank. It's pretty broken how much damage he can eat. So I just went back down to floor 4, and I'm going back to floor 5 because I went up the wrong side. That's the only other annoying thing about Renraku, is this whole split level thing, but most of the other corporations, even the lower ones, have problems. So here we go. I've already gotten the package. Now that I've gotten the package, I'm just going to go down back to the first level. That's really all there is to it. I stay invisible most of the time. Now, if I really feel like fighting some guys, I'll just shoot some of the security guards for fun, or punch them out, or set them on fire, whatever I want to do. As long as I'm near some security terminals. I don't tend to do that on the first floor. I'm just renewing my invisibility here. Just a note, there's weird bugs with invisibility. Sometimes guards will see you. The other thing that catches me sometimes is that if I cast invisibility too close to where some guards are, they'll immediately start shooting my teammates. So it's kind of buggy, or not necessarily buggy, but just kind of goofy how it behaves, around there. Another quick event here. Might as well take the risk at some money, or punch some guys, whatever. Yeah, just go up and turn this quest in, no biggie. Now, of course, if you play with Decker, you can go back and forth and do the Decker quest and get slightly more money and a similar amount of karma. But, I don't know, I did that so long that I'm pretty tired of the cyberspace side of the game. And I think it's also one of the sides that hasn't aged as well. And then there we go, I've got my next assignment, and then I just go and rinse and repeat. Now I like to play sort of with Trent, as I was saying, as and Joshua as my two main characters, because I like the samurai and the mage part of the game the best, but I didn't really care for the starting Joshua shaman. Let's just face it, he looks like a dork. There's no other way around it. The samurai and Decker versions of Joshua, the picture isn't as, I don't know, blatantly 80s and goofy. Yeah, that's all it takes. So again, just a few seconds, I'm in the door, up to floor 4, checking the terminal. About the same amount of time it would take me to get started on one run in Redmond that would get me 1 karma. Go back in here, back to the security terminals. You notice I don't have to change which guy I have selected. It doesn't really care. It just figures out who the highest electronics is in the game. Not everything seems to work that way. Like the karma for the fast talk success, I don't know, that one doesn't seem to work the same way, so I try to set some of the runners that I control more frequently back. And, sometimes I just get some bad rolls, and it takes a while to get this part to work. You can up this electronic skill more if you want this to work at a higher percentage. And there we go. Search the 3rd floor. Now the good thing about when you get the pickups that you're supposed to locate some guy or another rather than getting the packages is there's less places you have to search, especially if you get used to the kinds of places where they will put those people at. You do theoretically have to protect them, but I don't. The entire time I played this as a kid and sucked at it and played it even now, I don't know if I've ever had some person I'm supposed to escort or rescue get shot unless I died too. So I don't know how much you have to really worry about that happening. You notice too I don't have the maglock passkey. Since I have to have my electronics kind of high to get the security terminal to work pretty time, I just put an electronic kit on Joshua, who's the guy who has the electronic skill here. That helps me get through those without having to pay a certain amount. I mean, I could go and get the cheaper contacts, and I think it's what, like 20,000 or something, but saving money is good, right? Yeah, I like to save money. That's more money for cyberware, spells, or expensive armor from the Yakuza or whatnot. Again, anytime I see a security guard that I think I have a chance of running into soon, I'll move to the side away from him, recast invisibility just to be safe. Now, on these floors, I don't really care if I get caught, you know. If I get in a firefight with the guards and it sets off the alarms, I'll just walk back to the terminal and turn off the alarm again. So that's no big deal. And there's this guy here. Oh, my guys didn't follow me as well. You have to... They don't like to talk to invisible guys for some reason. I think it's like they can't see him or something. Now, you know, I haven't really timed this, but it seems like it's about the same speed as doing those, you know, the Dinky Quest and the Redmond Barrens, especially if you get like 4 requests to go hunt ghouls in a row. So it saves time from that. You don't make as money as fast as you do grabbing and selling data, you know, as a decker, but when you're doing that as a decker, you're not making karma at the same time. So you could probably do some combination with the decker of doing all the decker runs from Caleb and then selling data on the side from those and make karma and money both at about the same rate. But if you don't want to spend all your time in cyberspace, this is the way to go through and do this. And there we go, you know, I did a couple before I started recording here, and you can see I've gotten a good amount of karma on my characters. You can also see I've got these attributes pretty high already. It's, I don't know, you end up with a ridiculous amount going through this stuff. It's funny, I don't know if you see this glitch here, because Winston's go so high, it doesn't actually erase the 1 when it refreshes to each frame, so now it looks like body and strength of 16 on Joshua, but I don't. If only, right? I have to break out the hex editor for that one.